I have a so-and-so that did this. Hey, Jesse. And they lived. Or I had so-and-so do this, and they walked, 100 yards and before they passed away. Or I had so-and-so do it this way.
All right, y'all. So this is the second half of the discussion about Mica Miller's coroner report with Natasha Cooper. All right, let's get down on it.
Okay, so this is what you have to understand. Every person that chooses to shoot themselves, it depends on what location on their head that they make the shot, what kind of caliber the weapon is. It just depends, because different parts of your brain control different things, and depending on what part of your brain the projectile penetrates, that's going to make a huge difference as to whether or not you're going to be able to walk, talk, see, move, or just, immediate unaliving. There are so many different factors that go into these things. You can't use one person as an example of what happened to them in any other case, because no case is the same. But what I was saying and what I was saying and what I've been saying, because I watched the father's hands, and I told y'all, I thought he was saying it was to her ear. It was just above her ear, what he was pointing to. But if y'all remember, I told y'all, based on the way he was holding his hand, I thought he was saying that it was a through and through to the ear. Okay, so it's just above that.
Okay.
So that particular part of the brain, there is no way you're going to move or get up and walk anywhere after you do that to that part of your brain. It is impossible. That is the part of your brain that controls all motor function.
Okay, so yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, because like you said, things are done differently at different times depending on how one person does that, if they choose to do that. And so I'm glad that you clarified that, because like I said, the one that I witnessed was done in a different manner, and it was a BB or a 22. And so like the ones with her went through and through, where this one didn't. And that's just good to get clarification on this, because, people start speculating or start saying, oh, well, this and that. But I'm glad that you clarified that and brought it up, I brought it up and you clarified it, because I appreciate all the hard work that you do, because, you don't get paid to do this. You do it on your free time, and you do an amazing job with all your research, and you bring the facts all the time. And so I appreciate you, Natasha.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Kay's mama, did you have a question?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey. Okay, so I'm going to try to be really careful with how I say this, but I saw a lot of questions earlier when you were showing the diagram with the different types of pew-pews, and something I saw, and I looked up after I saw it because it hit me that I saw it on the pawn shop receipt, was about what type of was inside the pew-pew. It definitely did pull up from the part number that I Googled as a hollow point. And I'm not sure what that difference is, because I kind of missed some of that as I was looking it up that you were talking about. Is that typical to do a straight through and through all the way for a hollow point?
It depends. Hollow points do more damage.
Okay. That's why I was just trying to figure out, because I didn't understand exactly the whole thing, but I definitely saw a ton of people asking if it was that or some other type, and I had no clue. And
yeah.
I looked it up. So.
Okay, so a hollow point, not baby, I love you. I'll see if I can find a diagram of that to show y'all what the difference is here in just a second, so that y'all can see the difference. Ashley, did you have a question?
I do. Oh God. I know you'll never be able to convince me that she wasn't placed there. I hate this girl that talks. Me?
Mama, who are you talking about?
What?
She's watching something.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, oh God.
Sorry, I'm talking to David.
No, she's watching TV. How did you even get up here?
I was like, oh my God. Your mama hates me.
No,
Oh my God. No, I'm not talking.
You can't hear it. I hear it in the background.
Sorry. I didn't mean to get up here.
My God, hold on. Turn your TV down.
Take her internet.
Take her. Well, last night we were trying to put David in the nursing home. I think we need to put her too.
I was like, well, I guess I'll just get on down because this woman hates me.
Jesus, take all the wheels. Okay, so let me explain to those of you who are just, so the fractures is what's getting everybody. The X marks in the back of the head, I can see how that would be a little confusing. Now I see it. The X marks on the, well, if you look at all the X's on this, it looks like she's got shots all over. My Lord, she'd be a Swiss cheese. They're on her arms and everywhere.
Okay, now I do see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I see it now. I
the
couldn't.
right side at the back, they looking at
Yeah,
those
they're all
two
over the
X's
place.
and they thinking that might be.
Okay, I get it. I apologize. So there's one wound. Let me zoom in so I can get these X's off the body. Well, that just made them bigger, so now it's gonna be even worse. So the X's right here above the ear are the wound, the one wound. The entrance wound is on the right side. The exit wound is on the left side.
I mean, all y'all gotta do is read the damn diaphragm. Message.
Let me see if I'm gonna crop this so that it's just the exit, the entrance and the exit. And then she had a closed skull fracture in the back, 2 of them it looks like, and a closed skull fracture in the front. It says irregular because when a weapon is discharged and it comes out the opposite side, it is irregular because, and this is going to be sort of graphic, but it rips open the tissue. So it's not going to be regular. It's going to be an irregular shape. But I also am questioning the size because it looks to me like it says 11 by 16, but that doesn't make sense. And neither does 1 and 1/16. Susie, did you have something to say or a question? Did you mean to get up here?
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna crop this and then put it back up. Go ahead, Ashley.
So let me read this diaphragm out. I don't know what all this is going on over here, but it's, oh shit. I I mean, I could see why this would be 4 hours long. I mean, a lot of stuff that's going on don't need to be going on. Just get to it. 4 hours, freaking, I get it, it's a lot, but nah, this, y'all just be chilling like y'all got nothing else to do. See, now it's blurry. I'm not sure why I got blurry. It could be my eyes. Is that blurry to y'all? Because I know sometimes my eyes. And yeah, I can't make it out anymore. And I did a minute ago.
In your opinion, do you think there was a...
Let's try it again. It seems like when I press pause, it gets like blurry. Okay, so up at the top of the head, it says irregular exit wound. 4 1/2. I'm going to presume inches. This is so very unprofessionally done. And it's not totally clear. Not just this diaphragm, but the entire thing. I'm not understanding. But it says irregular exit wound. This is top left, y'all. 4 1/2 from midline of the head. And it looks like it says 11 or either 1 1/16 times 5/16 inches. See, it's all pushed together. You can't even make out which measurements they're trying to say. Blood present in auditory canal. This is a horrible report. What's going on top left? I can't make that out. Let's go down to the first body on the left facing forward. Left side, it says eyebrow tattooing, shading, circumference, perforatorial, contusion. Okay. It's very blurry. Damn. All right. The X that's in the center of the forehead at the top, it said closed skull fracture. Then it says eyebrow tattooing, shading, and then it says circumferential perforatorial contusion. Okay, let's go down to what would be her left arm over there, adjacent to that nipple. Tattoo band. Okay, that's the tattoo that her and her family has, the matching tattoos, tribal tattoos. Then there's one that says tattoo signature. Okay, so that's the J.P. Miller signature. This is John Paul Miller. I guess that says tattoo with words, something, humble faith, something. Okay, so those X's are pretty much pointing out her tattoos. And her, she has a closed skull fracture. So assuming some kind of old wound, maybe as a child, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to keep in mind they didn't do an autopsy. So however deep you want to take something, you may want to just bring it back to surface. And then her tattooing of the eyebrows. Okay, so let's go up to the top right. See if I can read that. It's bunched, hidden by some pictures, and the... I thought it was a stamp, but no, it's not. It is their writings. Okay. It says entrance. So that would be the entrance wound. So that would be on her right side, on the right side of her head. Just below, just above, like if you look at her chin line that's drawn here, and I'm not saying that's equivalent with her in real life, but just from this chart, it looks like if you follow the chin line up through the ear, this entrance wound would be right along that line. And I guess that kind of makes sense. If you were to take your hand in that position yourself and do it, it would seem like this is about as comfortable as you could go reasonably. But for me, I'm gonna also say I've seen that, but not with such a caliber. Not with such a caliber. That's usually something you would do with with something with a little pistol, 22, 25 maybe, because when you get that recoil, then what? I mean, and if you know anything about guns, you're definitely going to think about that. I don't think anybody's putting a 9 to their temple and thinking that's they reasonably going to pull that off. So especially a woman with her wrist strength. Yeah, but it says entrance 4.5 inches from the midline of the head. Something, I can't read that second line, but it has some measurements. Then it says something entrance wound with black particular material deposited, okay, along the edges of the wound. The wound, I can't see it because of the picture, and I don't even want to read no more, honestly.
Struggle of her trying to get away. And maybe she tripped and fell in the water.
Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, so at the bottom here, on where the body's facing away, you got tattoo, you got closed skull fracture, and then you have on the hand several minute, it looks like postmortem wounds consistent with retrieval from river and brush. Now remember the family said hands. Wounds on the hands. Where is this at? Hands. Now the difference is the family saying these wounds were pre her death. And these people are saying they're postmodern. Which one? It can't be both. So which one is true?
And that's when they held her and maybe shot her.
Okay, that's speculation. We won't get to the report.
In the water. Would they?
Natasha, what makes you think that?
Think what?
That is it because it's a side wound and not a direct facial wound? I'm going to Tony. Not a direct face. Straight on versus on the side.
What makes me think what?
That maybe it wasn't that she didn't do it on her own.
What makes me think that is the trajectory.
Okay.
You think about how hard it is to hold your hand up to your head at that level.
If you guys have one, which I do, that is what I'm about to say is going to be kind of weird, but it's just, the movement, the action, it's not very realistic. It's just, just as I have just said a minute ago, it's not really very realistic. I think it's unfortunate that movies have put that in us over time. You just brush it off. You immediately, when you hear of it, accept it as normal. If you say somebody, something under the chin and the mouth, something like that will be more realistic. If you would even take a toy, okay, if you don't feel comfortable and confident, and your stuff is unloaded and all that, but having some weight to it makes it also help be more realistic. But if you were to put one to your dome and hold it, and you firing, and so you understand how you would need to hold it and you know the force that's gonna come from the power of it, and what that recoil might be like. And you think about all these things, and then you think about the position of your shoulder as you're doing it, and you think about the position of, the way your arm is does your arm feel comfortable like this beside you? Does it feel a little twisted? Are you having to push it backwards some? Like, what's going on here? That's why I kind of explained, like, if you come up from her chin line, according to this drawing, the diaphragm, you think about where the ear is, where that ear starts at, where that earlobe starts at, and travel your finger back to where it seems like it's like at the top, at the tip. Draw that down. You come and you would be tracing your chin line. Okay, so this is where they are saying that it was being held. Put your arm up and there, even with just your pointing finger and your thumb. See how that feels. And tell me you're pulling the trigger and you are successful. And then on top of that, the exit wound and its trajectory would be as listed on her report. I decline.
I just came in and
So this will be a question for you, because somebody asked me, did they find residue on her hand?
They did not test her hands for residue.
Nope.
All right. And I agree. This right here, this person, they need to send back to school and learn how to do an autopsy.
Well, we don't know who wrote this mess, and it's
Well, and not even so much to.
I do too.
It's not
Cops
autopsy.
now are scratching their head and knowing that they effed up big time.
Nope.
No, they would have did that when they saw the report and approved
Because
it
of
to
the
be in the
crime
report.
rate in that county.
Okay, so the reason that I said, so I understand what you're saying now, Alameda. I had to sit back and think about it for a minute because I was looking up bullet trajectories. The reason that I think it's suspicious is because when you hold a weapon to your head, you're not going to have it just right. And a woman's hand, normally you're going to hold it up so that it's at an angle, depending upon how long your arm is. She was a very small woman. Look at the trajectory.
And 9mm are not light, especially holding it with one
That's
hand.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you something. You were messaging me about this, Amanda?
this is probably the most convincing evidence that I've seen yet, and I've got a pew right here, and I'm messing with it a little bit just to kind of figure out how difficult that would be for that type of shot.
It's heavy.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I just took mine, and this is a baby right here. Okay, this is a baby right here. This is a little Ruger. Y'all know anything about them? They probably about the lightest, not the lightest, but close. Very, very compact. You know, depending on what you call compact. I don't know. It got a laser on it. Though I'm trying to give you some kind of insight as to what it's about. Okay, but it's definitely longer than my index finger if I have because my index finger is lying up across the barrel, right? But even with it being this light, that still is an awkward thing to try and do. Okay? boom, 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 right here. And I got it right here. My shit is loaded, so let me put that down. Safety on and all that thing. But at the angle that I'm holding it, not in this moment anymore, but the angle I'm holding it, and the way that feels, and where my thumb is, where my finger is, where I know it needs to be, and it's got to hit the trigger button and all that, then that power, it cannot be contained. It's not going to be invisible. It's not going to be non-existent. It has to be some power to it in order for it to push out something that's going to pierce flesh. Okay, so that's some power right there. So that little thing, you have to be and this is mainly for people who actually don't even ever shoot. Like, you ain't even thinking. You just like, okay, somebody say, oh, they put the GUN to the side of their temple and they shot blah blah blah, and then you like, dang, that's sad, that's messed up, oh, sorry that happened. That's what you're thinking. But people like us, we gonna start to question things. We gonna start to say, huh? Wait, they did the what? They put the what to the what? And they did the what? And we gonna start doing the little math on that. We gonna start coming up with the science on that. We gonna start having little visuals of that. Like, hold up, wait a minute, cause da 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 da. You know, and that's what's happening here. Like, bro, I don't think so. You might want to try that shit again. Okay? Was her wrist broke, G? Cause she good. I know her father said she ain't no stranger to him. She know what's going on. She wouldn't have to put out no live round or nothing like that. Like they were suggesting. She knows how to handle them. You know, that mean homegirl could take them apart and clean them and all that. Okay, so she know. She know. Now I'm gonna try it like this. She knows she tried like that, girl. Which, like, how realistic is that? Cause what is y'all need to look it up. So see if you can find some videos somewhere of someone. I'm pretty sure there's some information out there, because this ain't the first time this been discussed. And by all means, in no means am I saying that this is an impossible thing for someone to do. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
And I agree with Nikki, because my husband has took me in the woods because he bought me what she bought. And I'm only 5'2". I'm little.
Well, I'm 5'9".
Okay, what your husband took you in the woods and what? And what?
Well, I'm 5'8", and I'm telling you right now, it's heavy.
Yes.
Even if you take the weight out of it, just putting your hand up at that trajectory, like, granted, we make the pew-pew with our fingers,
Okay,
so you don't have to account for, like...
This, what they're saying, too, is also important. So let's do this. Hold on. So, I mean, we would need to know what kind she got, too, because SIG has a category of 9s, baby. Okay? They got this, this USS, UCCA, USCCA 9, and they have a 9V Crown. They have another USCCA 9, and it's number 2. They got a P38 as well. They got some pistols, but you know, these are the 9 guys. So which one did she have? How we know? We don't know. Without the specifics, I mean, who has the receipt? Where's that receipt again? Because I don't think I captured the receipt. So without looking for it, we just gonna... Did I click ammo? Because it didn't mean to. I think I did. Dang, what's this down here at the bottom? Look, don't try to get me distracted. We's paying attention over here. We stand on track over here. We get out of there. Get out of there. Ooh, look at this, y'all. Look at that. So we're not doing that. Hold on. All right, so the rest of that, I'm going to leave it up to y'all because y'all got to do something now. You just lazy. You got to do something. We're going to keep it moving.
The muzzle of the puke. You have to put your hand kind of where the trigger would be, but still, it's such an awkward position.
Why would you put it there? That's what I'm asking.
I'd have it on my temple.
That's where most people would.
Exactly.
And most people, when they're holding one of those items, even just at a shooting range, I mean, forget hunting and all that, just a shooting range. Think realistically, what do you do when you're at a shooting range? You got your right hand, well, if you're right-handed, you got your right hand over here, and then you got your left hand over here, because you're holding it steady and straight to, granted, I know that it's
And
not.
that's how they teach you in concealed weapon class.
Lord.
The hell was that?
Sorry, that was thunder and lightning. I'll mute.
Natasha,
Thought it was a freaking shot.
I did too. I thought, oh my
Don't mess
God.
with your gun too much.
No. That was me. Sorry. We have I live in Arizona and we're going through a weather storm right now. Sorry. I'll mute.
I thought it was Alameda up there with her gun. I mean, pew pew.
I'm really holding it, you guys, and my wrist is completely cocked. I want you to understand, and I'm a pretty big girl, but left or right-handed, my wrist is completely bent while trying to grasp that trigger. It is very, and so I'm holding the trigger, right? But my wrist is completely cocked. So there's no way that that's going to be a straight fire, I'll say. There's no way it's going to go in crooked, no matter what I try to do. This is probably the best evidence that I've seen so far, Natasha. I think if people, I know I'm not loaded, I wouldn't do that, but people need to understand that you're right, Natasha, it's not possible. It's not.
So I just saw somebody in the chat say, why were there other people out there and only the man and the fisherman has come forward? They haven't. Okay. All of the people who were out there that day have given statements, but the fisherman is the only person that made public statements. I don't know if she was left or right-handed. The 3 people in the boat have been accounted for. It was a man and a woman and a little girl. Now, this picture on the screen, can y'all see it?
Uh-huh.
I can see it, Natasha.
This is a 9mm hollow point. After it has been shot. This is what the actual round looks like. It mushrooms. Do you see the points? There's 6 of them.
Yep.
A hollow point is made to do significant damage, significantly more damage than a full metal jacket.